Does any of you find that the summer is extremely stressful, or is it just me? I don't know. But me, personally, I cannot wait for the fall. Hi, this is Anno and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show you how easily we could turn the boho shawl vest that I showed you how to create. I think it was not last week but the week before. I will put the link right here to the tutorial, and yes, I will show you how to turn it into a sweater basically by just adding sleeves to the vest. As usual, I will only use very simple crochet techniques. We will continue in the pattern we had used, which was a 3 double crochet and a chain, and we will first decrease and then we will be crocheting in the round, and then we will increase and we will create a sleeve that has a flare at the end, because if you have been following me for a while now, you know that I have a very special little thing for boho style, and creating a sleeve that has a flare gives you instantly again that little boho touch that you know I love so much. So yeah, if you would like to join my crochet family and get a new tutorial every week, then don't hesitate to subscribe by clicking right here. It's totally free. So if you are interested in learning how to create that beautiful flare style sleeve that you could actually add to any vest that you have in a very easy to achieve steps, then keep on watching, and in the meantime, happy crochet! To add the sleeves to your vest, I added 150 grams of the same yarn, which is Voltro My Melody in color Gente di Mare. Alright, grab your vest and let's give it some sleeves. Are you ready? Let's do it. So to make the sleeve, you will begin at the bottom of your armhole opening. And what you will need is to be counting exactly 11 little 3 double crochet clusters and then begin crocheting. Before you begin your sleeve, and since we are going to need some yarn to sew part of the sleeve in, put a little bit of the beginning color on the side, especially if you're using some gradient yarn, because if you have a different color yarn and you sew in, the yarn might show. That's just a little trick from me to you. Let's begin with the first row of your sleeve. Take your crochet hook and take your yarn and join your yarn with a slip stitch. Chain 3. And in that same space where you joined, you're going to make 2 more double crochets. And you're keeping up with the pattern, 3 double crochets, 1 chain. You know, the 3 chain counts as your first double crochet in your first cluster you just made. And in the next chain space in between the clusters, you're going to make 3 more double crochets, chain 1, and in the next chain space you make another 3 double crochets, and you are going to continue like that all around. For the first few rows, we are not going to be crocheting in the round, we're going to be crocheting in rows. So you're going to be doing chain 1 and 3 double crochets, continuing like so in every little chain space, all along your first row around your armhole space. So you chain 1 and you make your 3 double crochets in your last chain space. And now you are going to turn your work around. Since we are not going to be crocheting in the round for the first few rows, and you are going to slip stitch in the double crochet from your first row, the one you just made, and in the second one slip stitch again, and in the third one as well slip stitch, and then in the chain 1 from your first row, from your previous row, you're going to slip stitch again. Then you're going to chain 3, and that will count as your first double crochet, and you will make 2 more double crochets in that same chain 1 space from your previous row. And that is the beginning of your second row. Now you're going to chain 1 and you're going to simply continue in pattern. So 3 double crochet in the chain 1 from your first row, chain 1 and repeat, all along. See, it's really not complicated. You know how to do this. You have done it for the shawl. So you are crocheting in pattern all along your second row until you meet the last chain space of your second row, and in that last chain space you're going to make your 3 double crochets. And just like that, you will be done with your second row. Turn your work around and again slip stitch in the double crochet you just made from your second row. Slip stitch in the next double crochet and in the next, and in the chain 1 from your second row, chain 3, which will count as your first double crochet, and make 2 more double crochets in that chain 1 from your second row. And just like that you begin your third row. So you get it, you're going to continue like that, and you create those little what looks like little steps, little stairs, and you are going to continue like so for 11 rows, back and forth, back and forth, and you will end up with something that looks like that. Looks like a little V collar, neck collar, but that's your sleeve. And later on we will sew that together with your tapestry needle. And that is why I had asked you at the very beginning of the tutorial to put aside some yarn of that same color to sew in your sleeve, which we will do later. It will be very easy. Remember, I am a very bad sewer, so if I can do it, you can do it too. I'll show you how to do it later. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And for the 12th round this time, because we are beginning to crochet in the round, so you're going to chain 1, and you're not going to turn your work around this time. You're going to skip those 3 first double crochet from the beginning of the 11th row you just finished. You are now beginning round 12 after finishing 11 rows, and you're going to make 3 double crochets in the chain space from your previous round. Remember, you did not turn your work around this time, because from now on you're going to be crocheting in the round, and we are actually going to make 11 rounds just like take a stitch marker and place it right there in the chain 1 you just had made, and that will help you figure out where your round begins and ends. Chain 1 and make 3 double crochet in the chain 1 from your previous row. And it's as easy as that. From now on you will be continuing in that pattern. Chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1. I'll show you what you do when you meet that chain 1 you just created to link between round 12 and round 13. Right, so we had that V opening and that will be closed eventually. Neatly, you will not be seeing any seam. That's why I like to do it the way I do it. Take your little stitch marker away now, and in chain 1, right after your 3 double crochet, and in that chain 1 space from round 12 underneath, you're going to make your 3 double crochets. So that chain 1 in between those 3 double crochets to join the 2 rounds. There you go. Chain 1, take your stitch marker and put it right there, so you will remember that's the beginning of your 13 round in total, second round of crocheting in the round. And we will be continuing like that in rounds 11 times in total, making sure you put your stitch marker at the beginning of each round so you know where it begins and where it ends. And that will be the straight part of your sleeve. And if you would like to have a straight sleeve, just classical shaped sleeve, you can just continue to crochet in the round without increasing and giving it the flare that I will give it. But I like my sleeve to have a flare, so I will show you how to do exactly that. But this is what your sleeve will look like now. It looks lovely. And if you like a 3/4 sleeve too, you could stop right there. And that would be a lovely look as well. See, possibilities are endless, I'm telling you. Crochet is so cool, isn't it? Alright, now time to show you how to create the flare in my sleeve. We have made 11 rows plus 11 rounds. We are now at round 23. Now time to increase. And increasing again is really easy. What we're going to do is we're going to take your little stitch marker away, and in that chain 1 space we're going to do 3 double crochets. Fairly easy, right? And then we're going to chain 1, and in that same space we're going to make 3 more double crochets. And we're going to repeat that at the opposite side of the sleeve. So what we are going to do is you're going to continue in pattern 7 times. So chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet 7 times. Let's say you decided that you wanted your sleeve to be wider, larger, or smaller. The important thing is that you have the same amount of stitches on both sides of your increase. In my case, I have 7 3 double crochet clusters in between my increase. So time to increase again now. Chain 1, In the next chain 1 from the previous round, you're going to do again 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochets in that same chain 1 space from the previous round. And that is how you will create the flare for your sleeve gradually as we go. And now you're going to continue in pattern until you reach your stitch marker. Chain 1, 3 double crochet in the chain 1 from the previous round. And you are done with your 23rd round. For your 24th round, you are going to chain 1, you're going to make 3 double crochets in that chain 1 in the middle of the increase we have just done. So in the middle of the 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, you're just going to make a regular 3 double crochet, chain 1, and continuing in pattern regularly all around, and do exactly the same when you meet the other increase you had done on the other side, on the opposite side of your sleeve. And you are going to repeat these 2 last rounds over and over for a total of 20 rounds. Now the important thing is that every time you do your increase in your increase round, your increase needed to be right before the 3 double crochet cluster that is in the middle of the chain 1 of the increase you had done in the increase round. So just pay attention that you make your increase right before that 3 double crochet cluster that is in the middle chain of the increase you had done before. And it will be the same at the opposite side of your sleeve. So it's 1 round of increase, 1 round of regular pattern. And you will continue like so, creating the flare for 20 rounds. For 20 rounds in total, until you will have 42 rounds since the beginning of your sleeve. And of course you can make your sleeve longer or shorter, narrower or wider, whatever suits your fancy. Here you go, and here you can see how it's beginning to flare, and the yarn is changing color too, which is really lovely. And the flaring and the change of color, so lovely, so whimsical. And you're still continuing in pattern until you have the desired flare, and then when you have your desired result, you are going to slip stitch in the chain 1 of the beginning of the last round you just had finished. You're going to take your scissors and cut and fasten off. And you are going to take your tapestry needle and you're going to sew in all the loose tails. And where you sew in all your loose tails will be the wrong side of your work. And you are going to take that little scrap of yarn that you had set aside, and now will be time to sew together the upper part of your sleeves, and I'll show you exactly how to, so it will be seamless. So you know how the pattern that we have used for our shawl is 3 double clusters and then chain 1. So what we are going to try to recreate with our little tapestry needle is the chain 1 in between those little 3 double crochet clusters that we had made in our 11 rows that we didn't crochet in the round. So take your tapestry needle and your yarn, your scrap of yarn that is the same color as your sleeve, and you're going to begin at the bottom part, right on top of where we began to crochet in the round, and you're going to take what is really the bottom part of the chain 3 and pass your tapestry needle through both of them, the bottom part of the chain 3 of one cluster and the bottom part of the chain 3 of the other, and you're going to sew them together and kind of recreate what is a crochet chain. There you go. Remember, you're at the back of your work, right? Don't do that at the front of the right side of your work. Do that at the back. Then you're going to sew up back the cluster, and you're going to repeat that exactly at the cluster that is on top. So you go from one row to the next. And now we're going to repeat in the row right above, doing the same thing. I'm sewing my way up, and when I reach the bottom part of a cluster from the row right above the one we just did, I'm going to recreate a chain 1 in between the chain at the bottom of one cluster and the bottom of the other cluster, and join them together with my tapestry needle. And then I'm going to sew my way back up the cluster from the row above, and I'm going to repeat that row after row after row, recreating with my tapestry needle a little chain and just sewing, crawling my way up by sewing in the back cluster. And remember, you won't see it because you're working on the back side of your sleeve. And that's what you're going to do until the top row, the one that is right next to the top of your sleeve, and then you will fasten off. You will make a knot and fasten off with your scissors, and you are done. And you will repeat that on the other sleeve, and that is exactly how it is done. It is a very easy basic sewing. This is what I can do, basic sewing, and you cannot see anything from the right side of your sleeve. It is seamless, and it gives me exact control over the decrease of my sleeve, so it's perfect for me, and I hope you like it too. Here you go, you are done. You turn your sleeve to the right side, back again, and you are done. What do you think? I think it looks lovely. Absolutely love the way it came out. And now that I'm looking at it, it looks exactly like those ballerina tops. You know, the tops that the ballerina wear. How do you call those? How do you call these? Put it in the info box if you know how you call those tops. You know what I'm talking about, right? The ballet dancers. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I enjoyed creating it for you, and I am looking forward to many more. And in the meantime, happy crochet and happy end of summer. Mwah! Lately I've been really into that boho style. Yes. I'm losing it. Bear with me. So anyhow, so if you guys this week has been crazy. I lost my footage, external drive died, editing, you know how frustrated it. Mind, focus. I was out of focus. Seriously? itchy nose. Inspire. Expire. Inspire. Expire. Oh, I know what I want to do. Doesn't everything look more beautiful when you light a candle? Hi, this is Annou and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited twice as much as usual because I am going to share with you a new pattern, this beautiful fall-ish handbag that I created for you. It's gorgeous, I love the color, and it's very easy to make. I'm